Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 5 minutes past top of the hour. Welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told, JD Live. Your early morning, get up, wake up, wake up. It is the 28th day of July, the last week in July. Before you know it, school's going to be back in session. Before you know it, we're going to be literally telling you this year is over. Before you know it. But right now, it's the last week of July. It's Make It Happen Monday. Time to get up, wake up, wake up. Share this with a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We are broadcasting live on Facebook Live, on Instagram, and on YouTube. You can catch us on all the platforms at the JDMS, except YouTube. At YouTube, we are at 100 BLK Media, and you can catch us there. You can also go to our website, which is www.the100blk.com. This week, my God, this week, where has time went? All I can say is where has time went. I woke up this morning with a lot to say, and this weekend I probably said a lot. For those who follow me on social media, I just had to get some things off my chest. One of the things I know that is in the news right now is the great deals that are being made throughout the world regarding tariffs. Instead of these high tariffs that were 30%, now we're deciding to make them mid tariffs like 15%. And at the end of the day, as I was out and about this weekend, I realized cost of living is rising. Everywhere I went, every restaurant I went to, every place I went to doing shopping. I know a lot of folks in my area, in my region, are getting ready to go back to school. And there was a lot of back to school drives, and I was very blessed to see those back to school drives that were giving back to the community. But as I was out and about, I see that prices are increasing everywhere on everything. What I also noticed this weekend, because I took time out just to take a look at my wages hasn't increased one iota, like most hardworking people. Our wages has went up very little. So it's 8 minutes past the hour. I'm never in here by myself. It's hashtag truth be told, JD Live. And guess what? I'm always blessed to have friends, folks who will join in and be a part of this as we get in this vehicle and we have great conversation to elevate your mindset on this Make It Happen Monday. All the way in Miami, Florida, the most dapper guy I know, my man. There he is. You see him, Brother Bowtie himself. Good morning, Brother Bowtie. How you
Good
doing and
morning.
how's life in Miami, Florida on this Monday morning?
Man, they don't get no better. They ain't get no better. Even the weather acting right today. So we
Mm.
all right. How's
This week,
everything going with you? How was your weekend, Joe?
my weekend was good. I posted a picture and I should have tagged you in the picture. I wanted to honor you this weekend because I did a picture. I was actually at a very at a big meeting, and I didn't want to post that I was at a big meeting, but I was at
Don't
a
worry,
big
I
meeting.
seen you. You were you with the green bow tie, right?
Oh yes, sir. And I was and when I took the picture, I was looking up, saying to myself, "God is good," because He will
Mm-hmm.
put you in places where you yourself, there's no way you could have got yourself in the door. And
Mm-hmm.
and I was blessed to be there, and I was blessed to once again be in some great conversation that not only elevated my mindset, but elevated my economics. And as I was saying earlier, being out and about this weekend, Bowtie, I realized, Brother Cope, that man, the cost of living is every day increasing. However, our income is not increasing. And when they do increase our income, they don't freeze what's going on that we have to purchase. So it's as if even if let's say that you're making $20 an hour, let's say they raise it up to $25 an hour. Well, then they raise everything else outside instead of freezing everything, the cost of everything. As soon as your wages go up, everything else goes up too, like an extra five. It's like you never really made an increase in your pay because everything kind of adjusts to now you making more money.
Mm-hmm.
And and it's just I don't know what we're gonna do to fix this. And then every time I get upset about how life is going for me, all I got to do is turn on TV and look at what's going on in Gaza. And when I
Or
see
look.
those young kids that are
Mm-hmm.
starving to death, I say, you know what? Life ain't bad for me at all.
Yeah, as I said, if you think your life is bad, just look down the street.
Mhm.
But I look at it like oftentimes when they throw stuff in our face, even if it's a goodie bag, we don't really pay attention.
Mm.
Politics, politics, however you want to see it. But remember the last time Donald Trump was president and he gave out those 2 or 3 stimulus checks?
Mhm.
Well, I was telling folks
He
that
really
those
didn't
stim-
do it. Congress did it. He just put his name on it and
yeah,
made
he
it
just
look
put
like
his
it
name
came
on to
from
make
him.
himself look good.
Mhm.
But I told people that those checks was gonna come back and hunt us. So before they released those stimulus checks, uh, I think milk was still like at $2 or some change.
Mm. Mm.
Now he ain't gonna find no milk.
Come on, come on. I mean, the simple things. We were here
You
talking
ain't gonna
about the
find
price
no
of eggs.
eggs.
Right. We were talking about the price of eggs. I mean, listen,
Yeah. The
right now they talk about what's going on. I really don't want to get into this because
and
so many.
like just a quick story. I
Go ahead.
remember my house that I had at that time when COVID first happened. I was paying $1,900 a month for rent for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
Okay.
Well, once the stimulus checks went up, and the next year was time to release my lease, it went from $1,900 to $3,200.
Mm,
Because in most people' mindset, well, y'all got a lot of money. You know, they
mm-hmm,
say it's too much money out here flowing. We need to get some of that money.
mm-hmm,
So, not realizing that they only probably gave each family less than $3,000, but the money that they
mm,
gave us, we paid that extra just in food a year.
mm.
We got what probably I say the average person probably got like $2,100 in stimulus. Well, our food price went up so much. We probably spending on an average. I think we're probably spending about between $8,000 to $14,000 a year in food, depending on what size household your house is.
And Brother Bowtie, I hope folks really heard what you said. Before COVID, you were paying for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath,
Mhm.
$1,900. After COVID, and it came time to renew your lease, how much did it went to?
30
3,000 what?
$3,200.
$3,200. That's what I'm talking about, people. When folk say, well, they're making more money. I actually had an individual say to me, Bowtie, and it just made me shake my head when they said it. People at McDonald's are now making $15 and $20 an hour. So yes, I'm going to charge more. I'm like, okay, you still getting your products and you're still paying the same overhead you were paying. Now, you may have to pay your employees more because once again, that that is a useful tool in negotiating when you're on the negotiating table and folks say, well, this is the salary we're offering you. Well, you could look at them and say, but people at McDonald's are making $20 an hour.
Yeah. Or
So
Starbucks.
or Starbucks, right?
Chick-fil-A.
Or Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
So in other words,
But even with them making that, Joe, and I think it's just us as being very, very selfish. Even when they making that, all the times, majority of the time, these people are part-time employees.
come on. So they don't tell you they have no benefits
Yeah,
and and
they
their
ain't working
hours
40 hours a week. They
oh,
only making
and,
12 hours a week.
and their hours may be 10 hours a week, right? They
Hmm.
may be no more. And see, that's the new nuance. See, we don't pay attention to the small print. They tell you we'll pay you $20 an hour, but you're getting a part-time job and here's what they do. They hire 20 part-time employees and nobody gets over 20 hours a week.
Hmm.
So at the end of the day, in all actuality, you make it where you literally still make all the profits. Yeah, you're paying higher wages, but you're paying for less hours. So you got to understand these businesses are crafty, and folk who are about making money will always make money and always make it that you feel like, hey, I'm getting something when really you're not getting anything. And we've got to pay attention. I said something, Brother Bowtie, and I want to go here right quick. It's 14. No, take that back. It's 15 minutes past the hour. At the bottom of the hour, we're going to have sports with Elijah Nixon. But I want to talk about a few things. And this might rub some people the wrong way, but I went in this weekend and I went in for a reason. Today, I started off reminding myself if I really trust God, take that out. If I really trust God, like I say I trust God, I need to start asking God for more because God is not on the budget. I started my morning off that way, on my knees, saying, God, I need to really trust you more and ask you for more because unlike everybody else I'm dealing with, you're not on a budget. I reminded myself this weekend when I was at the meeting and I left the meeting and went somewhere else. I ran into one of the gossiping Gussies and Gusses of the ghetto. And it reminded me that somebody who talks about everybody will talk about you too. Now I'm going to say that again real slow. Somebody who talks about everybody when you're not around, they're talking about you too. And I said to myself, I have to remove myself from these type of people. Because I understand some folks are seasonal. Most folks are seasonal to an extent. But sooner or later, we have to realize that truth, that some people will only be in your life for a season. And guess what? You got to have a cutoff game that's like this. Snip, let's on to the next one. And do it. And I want to say this again. Just because we have a difference of opinion, just because we see things different religiously, politically, we have a different geo-nationalist view, or we have a different worldview. Just because we have different views does not mean we need to be at war with each other. I don't need to declare war on you because you see a thing different than I do, or you have a different philosophy than I do. I need to say that's you and yours, and I need to give it its due respect. Just like you need to say the way Joe do things, you give me my due respect. But too many times, Brother Bowtie, we're too busy talking about if you don't see it my way, it's my way or the highway. And you do that with everybody, friends, family, work associates. No, I can work with folks who don't worship like I worship. I can work with folks who are not in the same political affiliation that I'm in. And I'm going to go there in a minute once I give you the microphone. Because after you say what you got to say, I'm going to bring up something about this political, religious, and keyword religious, not spiritual, this political, religious association that folks try to associate stuff with. I'm going to talk to you about something that I had to confront this weekend, and I stand 10 toes down on it. Like, we've got to learn how to communicate with one another without falling out with one another and without I declare war because we don't see things the same way. Brother Bowtie.
Well, I think most of the time it's a selfish act of us. Whenever you make things too personal, it's very selfish. Sometimes we in it too much for ourselves, whether it's business, politics, debates, everything. It's like everything has to go my way. And we have to change that narrative. And even now, I don't know if I'm gonna have another child, but I said my next child, I will teach them conflict resolution as early as possible so they can understand. Don't make things so personal. As you know, I'm a Muslim and I'm also a Moor, but
Come on
you'll
now.
never see me, disrespect a Christian. I think
Or Jew, or
yeah,
Jew,
or
or
Jew, yeah,
Hindu,
yeah,
or
and
somebody of another religious sect, because there's more
yeah.
out there than just Muslims and Christians. Come on,
Yeah,
let's go.
I don't support the LGBTQ community, but I would never disrespect anyone that's part of that community. My
Come on.
niece, no, I got two nieces that's part of that community, but no one ever said that, oh, brother Bowtie attacked me because I was this or I was that, or he turned his back on me because I was this, I was that. That's not the issue. I think the core value that we need to understand that when we can't agree, we must find that place or that realm that we could say, okay, I respect you enough that we gonna park ways when it comes to this. We can't agree on me supporting your
Right,
agenda or your movement or your political view. However, though, we can agree on feeding these kids. We can agree on
right.
sweeping our block. We can agree on cleaning the drugs out of our
Mm,
community. We can agree on donating money or donating clothes. So there's a lot more things we can do together to agree than to disagree.
right.
But we became so selfish, and society pushed narrative that be about self, especially in our community, that we only care about ourselves and whether or not we gonna win, whether or not we gonna win
Mm,
the argument, the debate, we gonna profit. We like, and when I say we, I meant more of I, whether I'm gonna
right,
win the argument, I'm
right.
gonna win the debate and stuff like that instead of we. So yeah, that's my take on it, Joe.
So I'm glad you went down the religious rabbit hole. I want to stay there for a minute. A person said this to me this weekend. If you knew God, you wouldn't be a Democrat. And they said it with so much fervor and strength. And they said it in the midst of a crowd, straight to me, not knowing you're really messing with the wrong scholar when it comes down to that. So here was
Mhm.
my response. And then the person felt like I attacked them in my response. But this was my response. Let me remind you, young sir, in a gentle but firm way, that God is not Republican, Democrat, Independent, or any political party. God's concern has always been for the condition of our hearts and not the box that we check on election. I said, the word said in John 3:16, for God so loved the world
that he gave his only begotten son.
That he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believe in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. That means everyone. Not just one party, not just one race, not just one opinion. Jesus loved the sinner, but he had a disdain and a hate for sin. And that includes all of us, regardless of our political views. I came back and said, young sir, you know, Romans 3:23 tells us, for all have sinned. For all. All. I said, in the English dictionary, all means everybody has sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. That means we should be slower to label and condemn and quicker to love, pray, and seek understanding. I choose my faith above politics. My salvation, I believe, is in Christ, not in a candidate. My values are shaped by scriptures and not sound bites. I said, remember, Jesus did not call us to be right. He called us to be righteous, to love our neighbor and to lead with grace. When I said that to that young man said, oh, let me give you a list of stuff. I said, sir, did you not hear what I just said? I said, are you too busy trying to position yourself as I just checked the great Joe Dupree? Well, first of all, my greatness lies within who is within me. It's not me. And I said, go ahead, young sir. Now, here's what was crazy. We were in a room full of dignitaries, Republicans, Democrats, and folks from all political persuasion. This young man has a business. Now, this is where I tell folks, watch what you say, how you say it, and to whom you say it to, because you may be hindering your brand by trying to, quote unquote, attack someone that somebody else sicked on you. They told you, get him. Doing somebody else's dirty work that they won't do themselves can sometimes put you in a place that you don't get what's coming to you. One of the individuals there does political advertising, big time political advertising. How do I know? I have made tens of thousands of dollars working with this individual doing political advertising. This person came to me and said, Joe, you know, I was withholding a contract that I did not know should I give to you. But after what you just said, I need you to see you next week where we can get this contract looked at and see, are you willing to facilitate the audio for this campaign? Because I need you. And he said, now I know your heart is pure. But my heart was always the same heart. My heart never changed one bit. But because I confronted that young man, not in kind, but in love. Because everything I said to him was said out of love. It wasn't me saying, okay, bro, you telling me if I'm a Democrat, I don't believe in God. Well, let me tell you what God said. And God didn't say that Democrat, Republican, or Independent was his party. God said, I love everybody. God said, I have a problem with sinful nature and sin. I still love the sinner. So what I'm saying is, when you're out here in these streets and these social media streets, watch the words that come out your mouth. Because many a times for click, like, and share, for you to put something out in the atmosphere that you feel like, because somebody told you don't like Joe Dupree, don't like Brother Bowtie. I don't like Brother Bowtie. You know why a lot of people don't like Brother Bowtie? Because he one of the cleanest brothers they know. That's why jealousy and envy is real. It's not that Brother Bowtie doesn't speak proper. Not Brother Bowtie ain't a good scholar. It ain't Brother Bowtie is a good man. It's because you can't be Brother Bowtie no matter how hard you try. And instead of you saying, let me be admiring Brother Bowtie from a distance, and guess what? I don't have to, me clapping for Brother Bowtie don't diminish who I am. I haven't came on here one time dressed up since Brother Bowtie came on. And people know, if you go back, look at some of our prior podcasts with Brother Fatine, who Brother Fatine, newsflash, will be coming back next week for
Mhm.
a week of Brother Fatim being a part of hashtag Truth Be Told, because I ain't scared to bring nobody back
Mhm.
and have them to be a part of this thing because they helped build this thing. This vehicle has always been here. I just invited people to come on. Brother Bowtie has a great podcast. I infer that you catch him on YouTube, you catch him on Twitch, you catch him on TikTok, because the brother be spitting some real talk. And there be some
I
real
think
people in there doing big things. But I just want folks to understand, you got to watch the words that come out your mouth. And speaking, listen, when you speak in love and you speak from the heart and you do it in a manner that I'm not chastising anybody, I'm just speaking truth and I'm speaking it out of love, you'll be surprised what in the room. See, God's words say, and it's in the Quran too, he will make room for you amongst the men that you have to deal with. He'll touch their hearts. I just got touched with money, not because I was looking for money, but because I approached somebody in love and not in hate. Go ahead, Brother Bowtie.
I think oftentimes there's a smaller effectuation, and I'm gonna say our community because I know most of the listeners are black.
Right, black and brown. Come on. They black and brown, right? Most of them are.
Yeah.
We got some other folk in here too. Trust me, but
Yeah, yeah,
most of
yeah.
them
I
are
know.
black
I,
and
I
brown.
think last week we had someone tune in from Greece, I believe.
No, we have from Greece, from Germany. We have them.
Yeah.
Listen, right now, this is, I always laugh about this. Right now, it seems like not a lot of folks watching because folks are watching in the background. So
Mm-hmm.
it shows how many is clicked in. And thank
Mm-hmm.
you for those who click in. I'm not in here for the money. I never asked y'all for a dime, never will. But for those who are clicked in, thank you. And one of them must have clicked off because, oh my God, they see me. But I see everybody who's clicked in. I also see everybody who's not clicked in. So it's funny, I see who's clicked in, but I see the 235 folks who are literally just watching the stream, but they're not clicked in. Because when you click in, then you can see all the comments, or you can click in and you can be a part of this. But that's okay. I'm glad that you decided to join in and let us be a part of your morning. Go ahead, Brother Bowtie.
Yeah. So as I was saying, it's it's a small effectuation with people knowing that they have a power. Like a power to control you or have people turn against you, have people like you. Like I believe a person's character really relies on who they are, what they are when you walk away. Joey, we can connect a mic or a recording to everyone that we speak to every day for
Mm,
72 hours after we
mm,
speak to them. Oh my
mm,
God.
mm,
I guarantee most of the hands that we shake wouldn't even shake it no more. We wouldn't even want to be in a room with some of these people.
mm, mm,
But some of these people, they will promote you. I give you a prime example. I was dealing with an individual last year who was trying to convince me to allow him to buy, you know, 30% of my cigar company.
mhm,
And I was entertaining the idea because, I was going through stuff and I was trying to get him to say, okay, if I do this, I want this. It's like if I allow you to invest, you just can't say, okay, I just want to make money. Now, if you want 30% ownership, like you got to come in, you got to do some work or whatnot. And so while we was going back and forth for 3 or 4 months, Joe, he was pushing my cigars. Oh my God. He was telling everybody about them. He had people calling me, people texting me, like he was pushing the cigars. So I gave him one even better. I said, how about we do this? Give me $15,000. I give you 15% ownership of both Brother Bow Ties for 5 years. But you have to sell bow ties. I mean, you have to sell cigars and you have to learn how to roll cigars and you have to help me market it and brand them.
mm.
He says, nah, I just want to give you $15,000 or $30,000 and hopefully have a nice return for the next 5 to 10 years. I said, nah, I can't do that, bro. I said, I got sons to do that, right? Joe,
Because
you wanna know what
listen,
happened?
so
He
so so I
never
want to
put
give you, money and get my money back plus
yeah,
residual, but I don't want to put in no work. Oh,
yeah.
oh,
But this is the outcome, Joe.
okay.
He never promoted my cigars no more.
Mm,
In
mm.
fact, he started speaking bad about the cigars.
I didn't get what I want. So since I didn't get what I want, now let me tell everybody what I really think about this brother, because ultimately I only wanted what I wanted. In the
Mhm.
green room, 31 minutes past the hour, it is time for sports with Elijah Nixon Elijah, good morning, my brother. How you doing
Good,
this morning?
good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing?
Man, it's
All
a
is well,
Monday.
scholar.
It's a Monday, brother. What's happening?
I gotta ask you for two favors, Joe.
Talk to me.
Well, Wednesday, I gotta go to Tennessee. Their first practice starts at 8 in the morning, so I won't be
I got you.
here.
I got you. We
But
understand.
but Monday I'll be home Friday. So Monday I'll be there Friday night. So of course I'll be here Friday. Monday,
Okay.
I need to ask, could I have a special guest? Now it won't be me.
Whoever you want to have, sir.
No, I'm trading myself in. And I'm gonna let my
Okay.
dad and mom do it.
Come on. Let them come on in. They welcome. They welcome. Anybody, listen, hold on. Let me explain to folks what this is, what it is, and what it ain't. Anybody who wants to come on here can come on here. I normally put the link, the video link, in all the platforms and say, if you like to join, please join. Because we're not scared to talk to anybody about anything, because we need to know your opinion. Just because your opinion's not my opinion or your view's not my view doesn't mean it's not valuable, and it needs to be said. Because guess what? You may awaken something in me to make me go, maybe I've been looking at this the wrong way for too long. Change is necessary. Change is inevitable. And change normally never comes if you're not exposed to it. The reason a lot of y'all thinking is because you hang around folks with the same stinking thinking. And guess what? Until you get enlightening around folks that see things differently, you will always see it the way you see it.
Now I'm gonna tell you
just
this
saying.
though. I'm gonna warn
Talk
you
to me.
before we jump into the sport. My
Okay.
dad ain't got no filter.
We don't need it there. Why?
I
Wait a
know.
minute.
That's what I'm telling you. All you got to do is wave that terrible towel. Because you're still a fan. All you got to do is just wave that terrible towel one time.
Okay.
And he
Los
goes
ain't no Dallas fan.
Yeah. Nah, he loves the Steelers, man. So you got to
Okay.
just wave it one time.
He knows. Greatness is known. Greatness is known worldwide.
But getting into the sports world,
Come on.
No disrespect to Hulk Hogan, who recently passed away. And,
Come on. Listen. Rest in peace. Rest in peace and rest in power. It's not for me to say where you at. Because guess what? We've all said some things that we shouldn't have said. And if we had got recorded right now, somebody'd be calling you out on some of the stuff you said. Keep rolling.
Mm-hmm. But even with Ozzy Osbourne, and years ago we had this I had this conversation with some of my friends. When Kobe Bryant passed away, we said, who's the next athlete? If they pass away, the world will stop.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, after seeing what was said yesterday, Deion Sanders put out there, he had a right of will. He had a right of will before his media days of the Big 12. Not because he just don't know how much longer he got. And everything happened with with Shador and Shiloh, and you're just looking at that and you just realize that time is precious. But Deion, I'm not knock on wood, it happened anytime soon. But you saw the emotions and everything in his face, the distress, everything. And I gotta ask y'all, because you guys seen him more than I did. I seen the later parts of Deion. Deion goes. Will the world stop just like Kobe Bryant? Was he that much of an iconic guy? Because when Kobe was gone, the world stopped. The world stopped for a little bit.
The world will. People who love Deion, and guess what? Deion is very flamboyant. One thing I can say about Coach Sanders, I have put my mic in front of Coach Sanders on 5 different occasions. I have walked on the sidelines and dapped the brother up many a time. I have dapped Shador. I have dapped up Travis Hunter. And I have dapped up Shiloh. I mean, hugged, embraced in these colors when we played Jackson State. Because I'm telling you, for 2 years, Jackson State owned Southern University. They owned the SWAC. They were undefeated.
They own HBCU as a whole.
They owned the SWAC. They never achieved under Deion's watch national champions.
Okay.
That's the sad thing. Because when they went to the national championship game, first person that handled them was the great Coach Pugh from South Carolina State. He handled their ass. And I think was it North Carolina Central that handled them next? Whoever it was Central, and it was State that handled them. So he never achieved HBCU national championship, but he handled the SWAC and went through the SWAC like a hot knife and butter. Mm-hmm. But guess what? in his flamboyance, in his I got time today, in his you ain't swag, and all his funky sayings. Every time I saw Deion and I said, hey, Coach Sanders, how you doing? Guess what Coach Sanders said to me? JD, what's happening, my brother? You got a microphone moment you need to hit on me? I either would dap him and say, no, not today, man. I'll catch you later or whatever. The man, even though the character is the character, the man is A-okay with me. And guess what? If he left today, yes, I would have some remorse because I think Deion was great. I think for the young kids in Florida that never saw a way out of Florida, Deion gave them the blueprint. Deion said, this is what I did to get up out of here. And I think many a times folks don't want black and brown men to give the blueprint of how to get up out this stuff and be successful. They hate Deion because Deion is not tethered to their system. Deion literally lost his life when they amputated his toe. And a lot of folks don't know that. I mean, come on, man. Listen, I ain't so mad at anybody that I wish death upon them. Man, live long and I'm Spock. Live long and prosper.
This guy, I know you a lot younger than us, Elijah, but this guy was so great that I know the world will pause. You know how now we tune in for the touchdown celebrations? That came from Deion.
Come on.
Deion had, listen, if you wasn't a fan of Deion, you was a fan of his touchdown celebration. And it's the little hop thing that Shador and Shiloh do. But even, listen, I hated the Dallas Cowboys my whole entire life.
Woo! Who did?
But when he played for Dallas Cowboys, I was still doing that skip and that hop.
And you had to respect it.
Yeah, when he played for the Ravens, like this is to Deion. Then and he opened up the room for, as they call them, NFL divas. He the one who opened up the room for them to celebrate and do whatever they do. Before there was a T.O., before there was a Chad Johnson, there was
hey, brother Bowtie. It used to be well known because we used to say it on the school campus when we played backyard football. Throw it my way and watch me Deion you. Watch it. Throw it this way and watch me. Snap.
Yep.
And hold it. Deion locked up with the great Jerry Rice and told Jerry, let him throw it your way and see what happens.
I'm going to tell you the big impact on why the world will feel his pain. Brother Bowtie ball now, right? But when I was little, I had an earring in my ear because of Deion.
Come on.
I asked my mama for a Jerry Curl because of Deion. Like, this is the impact. Matter of fact, me and all my cousins, we actually sat down and we was crying to our mamas. And I remember it was probably like 15 of us. I remember as a little child, it was 15 little boys in the living room, all getting Jerry Curls because we wanted to be like Deion. And we looking at each other like, dude, your hair burn yet? Your hair burn yet? Yeah, oh my God, I don't know if we gonna play football today. But I remember this story. But pretty much I'm trying to say is his impact on the world will affect a lot of people. And I have to give the brother credit. I mean, like, as much as he's arrogant, he back it up with telling just like Floyd Mayweather, just like Clarissa Shields, like Deion was that man. When I say he was that man, oh my God.
That part.
He was that man.
I mean, even seeing his post career, him being on NFL Network, and then before jumping onto coaching, at the high levels of college, I think that his model wasn't just to win games. I mean, of course, that should be your biggest thing. You want to win games. But if you could look at him, he really just wanted to make a difference. He wanted to make an impact, and you can see that at Jackson State. You see that at Colorado. I mean, these are two. These are like I don't mean to say like that, but these are two athletic departments that wasn't selling tickets and wasn't, when we talk about football teams or anything, we wasn't paying attention to these two schools, and it's nothing against Jackson State.
Right.
But Jackson State tickets went through the roof.
Through the roof. Come on, tell it. Not only Jackson State, the SWAC.
Let me put some.
That brother brought black college football back into where everybody was saying, "Man, this is black college football." He didn't only bring Jackson State into the picture; he brought the SWAC, the last coach to do what Deion Sanders did was the late great, and I stand 10 toes down because I worked for him for 3 years. The late great Eddie Robinson. Come on, family. DI was the coldest thing in the SWAC since Eddie Robb, and I said it. And if you don't like me, call me and check me on it.
Go ahead,
Go ahead.
Now, I mean, do you have anything else to say about that subject before I change it, Brother Bolton?
You good?
Yeah. So
you all right.
So now I see the change for basketball, man. I think people, as I bring this topic up, people think that the love is like basketball is supposed to be, or football, or whoever plays a sport is supposed to be their only love. Recently, the Joker won a championship years ago. Didn't cry, didn't do anything. Held his baby, let everything know. Then he was upset that he had to go to the parade because he wanted to go home to his horses. Yesterday, Jokic seen his horse win. Cried, boo-hoo, whatever. And now there's memes out there that when he wins the finals, he was just like this. And then when they win the horse race, that he crying for joy. People are saying that, some people are upset about him, loving the horse thing more than the NBA.
But he already said that. But he said that. He
but,
made it clear.
For me, and the question is that I'm going to pose is like, is it okay to love something other than your profession? Is it okay to be a part of something other than your profession? Is it okay to say, hey, yes, I'm good at this, but I really enjoy something else? Is that okay?
I'm gonna say something, and it's probably gonna make me look crazy.
Come on, Bowtie.
It's probably gonna make me look crazy, but to me, the second best college football quarterback ever, which is Tim Tebow. I said college, not NFL. I believe his NFL career didn't last because he loved Jesus more than he loved the NFL. He loved his religion way more than he loved the NFL. I mean, like his last year before he got cut, he took the Broncos to the playoffs. So obviously he was good enough. I mean, but I think overall, go back to our conversation earlier, when people can control you and have power over you, they will do their best to ensure that they have power over you. And sometimes you fall victim to them, and sometimes we fall victim to them. It's the same thing with Cam Newton. Cam Newton, he still could play to this day, but the media started painting the bad narrative over him, and he fell victim to it as well. So, long as the people know, like, as they say oftentimes when athletes get into politics or social issues, oh, shut up and dribble, shut up and play football. That's their mindset. So with Tim Tebow, hey, play football. We don't need you praising God or bowing God on the sideline. Hey, Colin Kaepernick, we don't need you fighting for social issue or black issue. Shut up and throw the damn football. Take us to the playoffs like you did the year before you did this BS. So that's their mindset. But we're only here temporarily. And I don't think we only was here to do whatever we is. Because if you say Michael Jordan was only here to play play basketball, then that's all we would know about Michael Jordan. But Michael Jordan mindset, he owns a fishing company, he owns a NASCAR company. Oh, shout out to Bubba Wallace, just won the 500. But he does has a whole bunch of real estate adventures. He has a whole bunch of sports teams as well. I think he's part owner of the Browns now, as well as a basketball team. So, don't tell me or don't limit me. But if you allow people to limit you, best believe they would, though. That's all I have to say. Right.
So Elijah, I will say this, and I'm going to show you what I saw this weekend that also after my meeting, which one of the individuals in my meeting, I'm going to throw a name out there. I'm going to name drop right now because most folks don't know this name, but Google it. Jeff Martindale. Jeff Martindale used to be the regional director for ESPN Radio. Keyword, used to be. I ain't going to tell you what Jeff does now or what he owns, but just say this. Jeff and I had a great conversation about one of the individuals he brought to ESPN, one Stephen A. Smith, who Stephen is now not only talking sports, but he's talking a hell of a lot of politics. Why? Because Stephen A. Smith is going to be running for something soon. So once again, how you start a thing may not be where you end the thing, and it may not be your passion because we all do what we got to do to pay bills. A lot of folks are out there working jobs that they can't stand because that job puts food on the table, keeps a roof over your head, and keeps all your bills paid. That doesn't mean that that's your passion. There are very few folks out there who are literally working in the job that they were called to work in because it's their calling. It's difference between working a job because you got to work a job and doing your passion. So here's what I'm saying. Jokes say I play basketball because I'm good at basketball, but it ain't my passion. My passion is these horses. And guess what? Whatever you're passionate about, it's going to show. That's why Joker ain't tripping if they win, lose, or draw. Because at the end of the day, he plays basketball good enough that regardless of what you say, you can say, well, he ain't passionate about basketball. Well, he better than you are.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't lying.
He ain't passionate. But you take Joker on one-on-one and see if you win. Okay.
They wouldn't have got him from a whole nother country and told him come play in the United States.
Right. Hold it. Let's just be real about it. You can be out there on your little school campus every day shooting and everything. Take Joker on one-on-one and see if you win.
Mm-hmm.
And if you win, they need to give you a contract. If you don't, then shut up because you ain't as cold as you think you are.
Now that's why I really agree with too, because you see athletes who dip and dive in different things, and so do you see musicians. I'm just using that example. There's some musicians that's probably good at painting and art, and there's some musicians that's good at acting. I mean, as you can see, to Tyrese, who has classic songs is in some classic movies as well. So you labeling one person is you can't really do anything. Like put it like this. We had this argument too, and we could talk about this in beef. I mean, in between, Will Smith is a pretty solid actor. I'm not gonna say he's the greatest, but he's a really solid actor. But Will Smith was a really solid musician as well. I had this argument with somebody. He had more hits than the musician. I'm talking about MC Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
He had more hits. So that's what I'm saying. You could be talented at two different things. Your passion could be whatever it can be. Like, and I don't agree just labeling somebody as one person. Like these NFL players, these NBA players, golfers, swimmers, whatever, they have lives outside of that little time frame that you see them. And I'm pretty sure they're not talking and playing the sport that you enjoy watching them play all the time. No, they got a lot of things going on for themselves. So I think that we should stop labeling these guys and we should really respect them for the person that they are. Like that's the one thing and that's why I dove into sports. I'm tired of seeing people just label these athletes as one thing. They do a lot of different things. It's just we see them for a 2-hour period, and that's it.
Elijah, as much as I can't stand RG3 right now, I'm not going to play football against them and think I'm going to win. Brother Bowtie had to go for a minute. He'll be back. But listen, listen, there's a lot of athletes out there I cannot stand. But guess what? I know what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to challenge them to one-on-one and think I'm going to win because I ain't got it like that. Even if I went and trained, even if I went and did whatever it is that I needed to do to try to aspire to get to that level, I still some folks just naturally gifted. I'm telling you, one of the biggest things I remember in my life, because I still have the shoes. I'm so thankful. My youngest son, Ty Malik, who's a senior in high school now, when he was a little baby, I was working for ESPN Radio. And I remember getting with CP3 one day, and I said, CP, you ain't, I said, bro, you about my height. You good. You're bad. Are you really as fast as they say you are? He bounced the ball to me. We were at the All-Star game in New Orleans. He bounced the ball to me. He said, bounce it back and guard me. I went like this, and that's all I remember. I went literally like I said, and that's all. Hey, I was like, oh, I went like this. I said, oh, shit. Damn. He literally He literally did a crossover behind his back, switched hands, and would by me like, and I would.
Like you was a musician.
Right. Man. Then he came back, patted me on the shoulder, said, hey, man, I heard you just had a baby. I said, yeah. He said, let me get you some shoes. He autographed a little box. I still got them. And guess what I said from that moment on? Hell no. I used to be on the radio talking about, man, they are who they say they are. Go out there. They make it look easy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, hold it. Go out there and try to hold it. Do this yourself. Go to a local school campus and try to drop 30 consecutive shots from Steph Curry range and see how many you hit. 30 consecutive shots. Hold it. And this brother was doing this night after night after night. They're trying to drop 10, 15. Just try it. Try to
It
drop 5.
It ain't happening.
Right. It ain't. Come on. So we good to criticize. See, that's another thing. And we were talking about this earlier. It's 8 minutes to the top of the hour. Elijah, I done kept you a little longer, but we got to stop that.
Yeah.
Then you go do it.
Yeah. And
You
I
go
get
do
it a
it.
lot. I get it a lot, man. You'll be surprised some of the inbound messages I got. Like people just tell me, "Oh, you do too much on your Facebook. Like, why you just won't only talk about bow ties? Like, why you got to get into podcasts or why you got to go fishing and like, you losing a lot of money." I'm like, "No, I'm not." I said, "I know where the money at. I just don't want to go where the money at." That's because every time I posted something negative on my Facebook, I mean, like my revenue went up. But me fishing, that's what I like to do. But there's people telling me like, "Oh, stop posting content of you fishing. Nobody know you go fishing. Like we like the way that you dress, and we love your positive information. Like we don't need you to do a podcast. We don't need you fishing. We don't need you traveling out of town and stuff like that." So it's just like, are you living for people or are you living for yourself? Would you be satisfied like if the doctor came to you today? This is how I live my life. If the doctor came to you today and said you got 24 to 48 hours to live. Did you do everything that you want to do this week or last week? Did you live your life up to the point the way that you want to live? Now, I'm going to tell you something, Brother Elijah, because you're young. Half of your life, you didn't live the way that you want to live because it was guarded by your parents. And it's the same thing with
Right.
me. Up until I was 18 years old, I lived according to my parents. I moved out my mom's house actually when I was 17 on 18. But that's when I started living my life according to the way that I want to live. So how I live my life every day. If the God was to come and say, "Hey, it's your time. You got 24, 48 hours." Did I live according to how I want to live, or did I live
Right.
according to how people want me to live? As long as people have control of you, you'll always be miserable.
Let me say this on Brother Bowtie's tip, Brother Elijah, about this social media thing. I wrote this and I stand 10-toe down on it. Social media has become a stage, and there are too many folks that are out here just acting. They will do say anything for click, like, and share because they equate click, like, and share to monetization. They believe if folks begin to click, like, and share my content, I all of a sudden become instantly a millionaire. That's not true. Some folks will stir up the drama, light the match, set the house on fire, and then jump on social media and swear to God that they the burn victim. Some people will post some of the most violin, background music sob stories and say that they need help. Oh, send me $1, send me $5, please. My light bill's about to go off. Y'all know what I'm going through. But the truth is they have made bad choices and won't take responsibility or accountability for that. A lot of folks on social media are talking about the struggle. That ain't the struggle you're talking about. You're trying to manipulate people to finance your dreams and aspirations because people have figured out that social media is the way that I can have absolutely no talent. I can have absolutely no education. I can have absolutely no forbearance of anything, but if I show some ass and act the ass, I can get paid. And I said what I said, and I stand 10 toes down on it. Then you ask yourself, why some of the rates across the board, the crime rates, the murder rates, all this is at a sky high because a lot of y'all walking out here on these social media streets with no drawers on and you getting your head and your bottom knocked off. That's the truth about it.
They walk around with no drawers on. What?
And getting their head and their bottom knocked off. And I said, what I said. See, watch this. Elijah had all the positive stuff I done said today. People gonna remember that. Man, Joe over here talking about people walking around these. Hey, because listen, Elijah, hey, and let me give it up to who I got that from. There's a guy I play video games with called Big Diesel. And Big Diesel say, man, you got to stop walking around these Call of Duty streets with no drawers on because I'm going to knock your head off. And sure enough, in other words, if you don't put no plates on for those who play Call of Duty, if you're in the war zone and you forget to put them plates on, them your drawers. And if you don't put them on, he got that one hitter quitter sniper. He real with it. He going to knock your drawers. He going to knock your head clean off. So that's the saying. hey man, don't stop walking around these social media streets with no drawers on. Because a lot of y'all writing checks with your mouth that your body can't cash. We know who you really are, but you get on social media and all of a sudden you King Kong on social media. Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. You ain't even man, you ain't even Tom. You ain't even Tom in real life. You ain't even Tom on Tom and Jerry in real life. But you King Kong in these social media streets. All right. Keep on writing these checks with your mouth and with your Twitter fingers that your body can't cash. Because there are folks that will catch you out there in them real streets and say, hey, dog, what you just say? Then what you gonna do? Try to get a quick video of y'all whooping ass or getting your ass whooped where you can go viral then?
It's funny. It's funny you say that. It was a dude that I don't remember his name, but he was on a Breakfast Club the other day, and his platform was made of. He's a white guy who was calling black people the N-word and calling them monkeys and asking them what's their least favorite race. He said his dad was robbed by a black woman and he fired her because she's lazy. And he went on the Breakfast Club and he's trying to right his wrongs and all that other stuff. And they drilled him for it. It was like, yo, what do you mean by this? Why did you say that? Why did this and that? He was like, I was just trying to do it for click, likes, and comments. And he was like, they was like, bro, people really live through this, right? Like you're not like there's a real outside. Has somebody attacked you yet? He said, no, but they beat up my bodyguard. And then he was like, yeah, so where was you at? He was like, I was in the truck streaming because he was scared. So they asked him again. It was like, why would you say stuff like that? Like, look at your cameraman, he's black. Look at your bodyguard, he's black. Look at the people that's around you, that's you behind the scenes, they're black. And you're saying stuff like this, and you're thinking it's cool to, for click likes and shares. And you're saying stuff that's derogatory towards a race. And he was like I said, he's trying to right his wrongs, but like, you got to face that music one day. Like one day you got to.
No, he wasn't, Elijah. And once again, no offense to my good friends at the Breakfast Club that I know envy in those guys. But let me say this once again, fuck them for giving him that fucking platform. But then when people need to be on the Breakfast Club, you put that buffoonery on there and you make it even more popular. Because now folks are going even the more to go watch him. Let's just call it what it is. That's our problem. Our problem is we won't support or respect what is good and wholesome for our people. But no, you put this buffoon on here, and yes, guess what? He did it. Not only do I say F him, I say F his bodyguard and everybody who worked for him, that you there for money, because that's what you're there for. Oh man, let him say that. He paying me. I ain't
that's click, like, and share.
Right, that's click like he getting paid, he paying me. I could care less what he's saying. See, we got to stop that because what he says matters. What you do now matters later.
And as big as a platform that is, they could have replaced him with a small business owner. They could have replaced him with one of these athletes that started another business or that just retired, that's going back to be a college football coach. They could have replaced with anybody to bring more awareness to us, and
Well, I ain't gonna lie. I blame that on Charlamagne because Just Hilarious.
Yeah, Charlamagne. He's
the one that brought him up there because Just Hilarious.
Because he at the point now, guess what? When your money gets to a certain place, you get to a place that really you show who you really are. That's why I tell people, I am appreciative when certain folks get money. I want them to get it because money will make you show who you really are. See, a lot of folks talk all this until they get that money. When they get that money, then you see who they really are. Then you see exactly who they really are, exactly who they give back to. Are they really who they said they were before they got the money? Yeah, man, I'm on it today. Y'all can like it, leave it, or love it. It's 1 minute past the hour. We normally only stay on here for 1 hour, but family, if you want to stay a little longer, we can. Y'all just
I got something to say, Joe. About the President of the United States.
Say it. If you can stay, Elijah, you can. If not, just give me the due side, and I'll let you give you a goodbye, and I'll
probably get out here about 10 and 8:10.
Okay, go ahead, brother Bowtie.
So I was just thinking yesterday about it was something came on my news feed on my phone about the alien files, right? And how Donald Trump
the Epstein files?
No, the aliens, the actual aliens, the space.
You talking about not the AT aliens? You talking about the real? The real
Yeah,
deal
yeah.
Holyfield. Okay.
Yeah, the UFOs and stuff like that. So I said,
Extraterrestrials, the real
yeah,
extraterrestrials.
I said,
Okay.
so this man released, however it's gonna come back to this man released the UFO files, the JFK Kennedy assassination files, the Dr. King files, the what was the Watergate files. He opened those more. I said, but he just won't let go of those damn Epstein files at all. he want to expose the
Hey,
truth to the whole
hey,
America, but not that truth.
hey, and we already know what if he released the Epstein files, here's what it's going to say. It's going to have a lot of black marks of a lot of names blacked out. And then it's going to have on there, it's going to have the following names on there: Bill Clinton, Crooked Hillary, Crooked Joe, and Crazy Kamala. Them 4 names going to be on there.
Barack too.
And now listen, how in the world you go hold it? Since when did a president release a meme of Barack Obama in the Bronco that OJ was in, with him with the president and JD Vance chasing Barack Obama? Now, what in the hell in the haberdashery is that? Once again, distraction. I'm gonna post this, and guess what? People been sharing it. People, look at this, because we love to hold it. As they said in Gladiator, are you not yet entertained?
Are you not yet entertained? Yep.
Y'all love this stuff.
Yeah.
And then you add
mentally, I understand the political game. Like, I don't follow Donald Trump on no social media at all. But it's also some politicians I don't follow neither. Some who can actually make changes in our community I don't follow neither. But it's more of a mental health reason why I don't follow. But it's like some of these people, they will take what some of these politicians do and say, at face value, like, this is the truth. Has to be authentic. Like, I guarantee there's a white person right now saying, "Oh, did you see Donald Trump and JD Vance was chasing Barack Obama? Yeah, my friends stay in California. They say that Barack Obama's going there. They gonna get him, and they actually believe like Donald Trump was really driving the car." But you can't tell some of these people nothing. Some man. I don't know if you see what's this guy name. He's a white guy. He does a lot of things he's against Trump. And he went to a Trump convention, crowd thing, and he asked one of the people, he said, how do you feel about Barack Obama? And one of the white lady said, "Oh, he should be killed. He's bad for the country. It's crazy that he started the 9/11 war and he went over there and he killed all those people. It's because of him we been in war." Like, what?
Right. Because they believe, people believe, okay, so back to where we were at earlier. Elijah, listen to this. Young man about your age, very politically astute, will probably wind up being one of the new black and brown faces for the Republican Party. I saw him this weekend and he came at me sideways, and I literally in love made him realize that you still a Padawan learner. You messing with a Jedi master. These are not the droids you're looking for, I promise you. So he hit me with a few things, and I discussed that earlier, how I handled them the first time. But then he came back, because once again, when you stick a person on a person like you stick a dog, you ain't happy until the dog really gets a good bite in. So he thought he got me a good bite in, but he didn't. He said this. He said, "Man, since you say the Democrats are I'm telling you, Democrats, you can't be a Democrat and love God." He said, "I can prove it to you." He said, does God approve of abortion? Does God approve of gay marriage? He said, does God approve of programs giving little children the right to change their sex? He said, did God create other humans except female and male? Oh, he hit me. He hit me. I had to come back and say, look, man, and I said this to him, and I had to do this because it was deep. It was deep. I said, look, bro, after I'd already put him in his place the first time in love, trying to tell him God has no political affiliation, never has, never will. He's not concerned about if you're Democrat or Republican. He's concerned about your righteousness. He's concerned about your love for one another. God, Jesus himself said, man, hey, I love the sinner. I just hate the sin. So here's what I said to the young man. Once again, here's what made me laugh. It took a Caucasian Republican to grab that young man by the shoulder and say, "Hey, man, that's enough. I think, you've been on the mat long enough. 10 count in, the game over." I was like, "That's it. Tell him throw in the towel," because he messing with the wrong brother. I don't look at myself from a political faction when you start talking about God. I'm spiritual. So I told him, "Look, man, I appreciate your passion for the truth about God. But let us remember, God didn't call us to be judges over one another." Now, he then made the terrible mistake of talking about, "Oh, yeah, we judge people every day." I said, "Yeah, we do, but God didn't call us to do that." I said, "You're right. We judge people every day. But God," I said, "once again, since you keep putting the G-O-D in this thing, let's talk about what this thing really say. Show me in here where he said you should judge folk." "Oh, yeah, he said you should know them by the fruit they bear, but it's a difference from knowing a person and judging a person." I said, "Once again, since you want to be so charismatic with your vernacular of the English language, look up the word know and look up the word judge and tell me what the difference is in the dictionary." There is a difference. Stop trying to do what Donald Trump does. Stop trying to sound smart when you really sound dumb, because what you're doing is really trying to prove your point and be right. I ain't trying to be right. I'm trying to enlighten you and educate you. Actually, I hit him with a line that I got from a brother one time. I said, "Man, let me educate you, because you need a little understanding, young brother. And I understand somebody has touched you on the shoulder and said you will be the next Herschel Walker of the Republican Party here in this state. You're going to be the next Tim Scott. And I understand there's certain folks that you got to knock down. I might be one of those folks, but brother, Dr. Joy." So after I finally did it, it made me really laugh, because I know the Caucasian Republican white guy that kind of pulled him to the side. He came back to me and he did what he always does. "Man, you sure you wouldn't like to sit down with us sometimes and have a conversation?" See, that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
For the love of money, they look for the best of us and they try to pit us against the rest of us.
And it happens all the time.
And it happens all the time. And guess what? I have not, will not, and have never sold my soul to anybody for any party, be it Republican, Democrat, or Independent, when what they're saying is not benefiting Black and brown folk. Every time I position myself in any political situation, even when I was the chief of minority affairs in Lafayette, Louisiana, I was not here because of Josh Guillory. I worked with Josh Guillory, and many a times tried to tell Josh Guillory that won't work for Black and brown folks. He'll tell you that himself.
Dr. Elijah, just a FYI, yesterday I was watching your podcast. Yep, I'm supporting you when I'm supposed to. But I went back and I had watched a video. I think the video that you did, I think his name is Malik or something like that. Yeah. For some reason it couldn't allow me to leave comments on it, so I just need you to check that out.
That's good. That's good. See, we're here together. It's 10 minutes past the hour. I know Elijah said he got to go. Me and Bowtie gonna stay around for a minute. Elijah, give us some final sayings, man. Get yourself out of here. Tell them about the Fitz take.
Yeah, man. So the best, one of the last episodes was one of my favorites with Eli Bill Davis. I think that's great. It's still on YouTube. It's doing well on social media platforms all over, Instagram and stuff like that. But we want to say thank you for the support. Thank you, brother Bowtie. I don't know what's wrong with the comments. I have to go back and look at it. But I just want to say thank y'all. Thank y'all for everything, the support, the love, the likes, the shares, the comments. But it's bigger than what I want to do. I just enjoy telling the story of an athlete, because like we just talked about, they're bigger than just what carrying a football or shooting a basketball, scoring a hockey goal. That's the goal. Like we want to make sure that we tell the story of who they are, because everybody has a story, everybody has an upbringing, everybody's different. And like you just said, Joe, it's not to be judged, it's just to know who they are, know and understand. If you want to root for them after it, root for them. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's not mandatory. But again, just want to thank y'all for the support and the love, and you know, brother Bowtie, I'm going to get with you though. I do want some bow ties. I'm gonna have to get that for later in the year, especially for that Georgia game on September 14th. I'll probably rock it on air. So, I just want
Okay,
to
that's what's up.
Yeah,
I was about to say, where are you located at in Tennessee again?
Knoxville.
Knoxville. Oh, yeah, you
Rocky
know
Top.
somebody. Hey, I need you to talk to one of your cousins or your uncle them that know how to make some special punch, and I need some special punch sent to me.
I don't know anybody that. Well, I don't know. My mom drank coquito, but
I ain't say you. I said I need you to talk to your uncle them.
He talk about them Rocky Top folks because they got that orange.
Your
They
daddy
got that orange crush there. Don't worry, I'm gonna send you. Hey, I'm gonna send you a name. I'm gonna send you some. See, I know my people's there in Tennessee. I'm gonna send you the name. See, that orange crush got a little moonshine in it.
Yeah. I ain't want to say it, but that's what I need.
He need one of the mason. He need one of the mason jars. They got that orange crush in it, sitting down there to Miami, Florida.
I got you. I'll go because I'm supposed to go to like a distillery. Not this week coming up, but the weekend after. I'll go to like one of them. I want to give it a try. So I got you.
Are you going to Old Smoky?
Yeah.
Hey.
Man, so you finna pay the $7 to get wasted?
Well, I just want something to do. I never really explored the city like that yet.
So you never did the Old Smoky Distillery tour? So I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna pay $7. I think it's $7 or $10, and you're gonna drink probably like 12 shots of liquor. But it's like 12 different flavors, so they gonna explain you. But it's nice, and what made it fun is like the mix of people. You know, you get to see everybody in a different element. You get to see how Spanish people act when they drunk, or European, or the rich black people, or the poor black people. Like, it's just that what made the experience fun for me. Like, I was like, man, hold on, let me hold this shot because Auntie down there tripping. They talking about their marriage right now. But you enjoy it though. But you will walk away kind of woozy. So make sure you have a.
It's gonna be me. It's gonna be three. But one of them not. We already said it. Somebody's not drinking. Right. We live 50 minutes away.
Right. And you gotta listen. I'm on it when I come up here to see you, and I'm coming to see you, Elijah. We're gonna have to you're gonna have to hit Gatlinburg. There's some places you're gonna have to hit. So I got some places.
Gatlinburg for sure.
Oh, all right. But I'll get that to you. But Bowtie, I'm really I gotta get it because that Georgia game, I'm gonna need something fresh.
So you need some Tennessee colored bow tie? That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead and get it there.
Anything. I need something fresh.
So what you want, a Tennessee volunteer bow tie?
No. It don't gotta be a Tennessee one. It could be something that just matched the suit because I ain't gonna lie to you. I already got
it. Send me an image. Send me an image of the suit. You can get my phone number from Joe, and I'll try to help coordinate some things with you, bro.
All right.
Gotcha. Yeah. Look at that. Y'all give it up. Elijah Nixon with sports. He out. Bowtie. Look, we got about 15 minutes. I want to get out at the bottom of the hour. Listen, family. And I say this, and you know, when folks come at me about, and I used to have Eddie Barnett on here and Douglas Guidry, and hopefully they'll be back next week when the team shows back up because certain folks roll with certain folks, and I respect that. I ain't got no problem with that. Listen, like I said, just because you're not with me 24/7 makes me know. Listen, I understand. The Bible says everybody who with you ain't really with you, so you got to just understand those who start with you might not end with you. But here's what I say to folks who talk about the abortion and same sex. You know, these issues are deeply complex and deserve conversation rooted in grace and wisdom, not division and folks just condescending. Jesus spent more time saving souls than scoring political points. I'll say that again. In the Bible, Jesus spent more time saving souls than scoring political points. He dined with the tax collector. He showed mercy to the adulterous woman, and he healed the outcast. His focus wasn't political. His focus was on the kingdom. Y'all got to stop that. Y'all got to stop putting on that if you're not a certain political party, you can't love God, you can't love Jesus. Jesus had no political affiliation. No political party is perfect in God's eyes. God is not Democrat, Republican, Independent, Green, or anything. God is holy.
In fact, he
And
died between two sinners and he was comfortable there.
come on, hold up. And his greatest commandment, this was God's greatest commandment.
Mhm.
And it's still love the Lord with all your heart, soul, and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. Matthew 22, 37 through 39. See, it kills me how some of you Bible thumpers, and I'm going to call you what you are, I always want to throw this at people's face, but the question is, are you doing it in love? Because if you ain't representing God. Stop saying you, see, that's the problem. Too many of y'all saying who y'all repping, y'all ain't repping. And then you got folks hating the person you say you repping when you really truly ain't his representative. He ain't ordained you to represent him. This man represents himself.
If we could call a spade, Joe.
Come on.
Most of the time, what people do use, just in general, their mindset, if I can use someone greater than me and attach myself to them, then my word or myself or my character has to be valid. So oftentimes people look at God or Jesus as, you know, the supreme being, which they should. And then, like, if I can attach myself to God and Jesus, whatever I say is going to sound good. It's going to be valid because I use him. It's the same thing when we have normal conversations. We remove religion. If we say, I know Michael Jordan or I know Barack Obama, it makes us look even more greater or make our conversation more believable. But who you are without that, like, remove that person to tell me why you believe that. Like, as you said, Jesus or God wasn't a Republican or a Democrat. So remove Jesus and God and tell me why I shouldn't be a Democrat. And I guarantee you that it'll be hard for him to do because he has to attach himself to something.
Right.
You know, he has to attach himself to somebody. And I'm very educated when it comes to politics. So both Republicans and Democrats have done a terrible and a bad job.
Hold it.
Especially to our community. But
hold it. Like you said, Brother Bowtie, when you have no substance, okay, you can have great rhetoric, but when you have no substance, see, your conversation has to have some type of substance to it. When you are a good talker with no substance, you got to attach yourself to something that distracts me to not hear really what you're saying and pay attention to what I know. See, a lot of folks go to church and they know what the word of God say. And if you position it in a way that kind of sounds like you know what you're talking about, see, a lot of folks don't even get the example God gave you in the first part of this Bible in Genesis. That's how the serpent got the attention of Eve. He sounded godlike. He sounded as if he knew exactly what he was talking about. He sounded just like the master himself because he said, did he surely say you would die? See, sometimes you got to watch folks who are talking to you because they sound holy. They sound like they know what they're talking about. But there's a difference between sounding and being and knowing. See, these words.
It goes back to what I said earlier, Joe. Can you imagine if you had a recording of that brother for the 72 hours after that and played it back? You know, and what's crazy is sometimes we don't need a recording. We know exactly how the person feels when they walk away from the conversation by the facial expression.
Right. Hold on. I knew this young brother, and this is what made me laugh. In the room I was in, there was a lot of dignitaries in that room. Here's the crazy thing. There was very few black and brown folks in that room. To be exact, I counted all of us that were in the room. Out of a room of 125 folks, there was eight black and brown folks. Out of the 8 black and brown folks, I probably was the only one outside of a young lady there who was not affiliated with the Republican Party. So he was, they send one of us to get one of us. So they sent that young man, who, first of all, to see what his chops look like. Well, he failed terribly.
Yeah.
So once they figured out, oh, wait a minute, he getting handled. Here come the cavalry to save him. And they saved him. But here was the craziest thing about the whole thing. I felt sorry because once again, it gave me what I see when I see a Tim Scott, when I see a Herschel Walker, when I see these individuals who are black and brown, and how they try to justify their dealing with certain individuals in politics, is they put in the God factor. God ain't got nothing to do with this. Be exact. I had to tell somebody, and I made it clear. Instead of throwing stones and drawing
it's
party
crazy.
lines,
Instead of him talking bad about God and how they shouldn't have transsexual or gay people or all this other kinds of stuff. Well, there's a pop rap Republican representative that just got sentenced to 7 years who was a LGBTQ community. What's his name? The guy that Texas representative George Santos.
right? Santos from out of New York for lying.
Yeah. I see Texas. I'm sorry. He just got sentenced to 7 years. He's a proud Republican.
Okay, but here's the thing.
What do God have to do with that?
Okay, so once again, I need to show you all the sins that everybody does that's not Republican. Once again, the truth about the matter is, and the reason I think the young man came at me like that was right now, most Republicans are fighting, is your president a part of the Epstein file? And Epstein is a known pedophile. So for those who don't know what pedophile means, because there are some who do not know what that means Epstein's was having sexual relationships with underage children.
You know what's crazy? I just listened to a podcast last week. I think something fit to take a big U-turn. I think Donald Trump, if he don't shut up and leave well enough alone, he's gonna find himself as an Epstein. On this podcast, I don't know if you heard this, Joe, but it's going around now. Did you hear what Uncle Luke said about the Epstein and Trump party?
No, I didn't.
So Uncle Luke was on his podcast, and we know Uncle Luke is known for making some provocative music about,
Oh yeah.
He's very
sexual. He's very sexual and X-rated. Come on.
Man, he said 10 years ago, Eddie Murphy, and someone else. Eddie Murphy, and Snoop Dogg, they went to Donald Trump house in Mar-a-Lago for a party. Uncle Luke said I was in there for 10 or 15 minutes and I knew I had to leave because there was too many underage girls there.
The truth about the matter, listen.
Now, if Uncle Luke say that,
hey, once again, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And at the end of the day, we all have heard our president, who is now the president of the United States, say some things that are questionable.
Grab a lady by
grab her by her vagina. If I was a single man, I would date my daughter. There's things he said that is very questionable. And like I said, and once again, let me do this as we get ready to get out of here. It's 6 minutes. It's 24 minutes to the bottom of the hour. 24 minutes after the hour. 6 minutes to the bottom of the hour. At the 30, we're out. But once again, like I said, instead of drawing lines in the sand or throwing stones, I choose to stand on the word and walk into humility, because I'm going to let God be God and I'm going to be me. I can't be God because I'm not God. So I'm going to let God be God. I'm going to be me. I'm not perfect. I have plenty of flaws, but I'm not going to come across as if, man, look at me, look at this, because God alone has the final say on all of us. God can literally, before I get off this podcast, say, you know what, Joe, it's time for you to go. And guess what? Can't none of y'all stop it. If I started having a heart attack right now, can't none of y'all stop it. Can't none of y'all stop it. If God says today, right now on this podcast, right now on this moment, this time, Joe, it's time for you to come home. Can't none of y'all stop it. Man, I am too close to waking up every day knowing that I'm one day closer to the day of leaving, going to the other side, to be concerned about some of the stuff y'all be. You got to stop it. Just click, like, and share is all good. Bowtie does podcasting. I do podcasting. A lot of folks I deal with, we do this stuff. I pray for those who are out there spreading the positive vibe to continue to grow, build, learn, and spread more positive vibe. But I understand there are a lot of folks out here that's got microphones and all they doing is talking buffoonery. That's all they're doing on this thing. They talking buffoonery. And guess what? Y'all love that entertainment. And y'all gonna click like and share to whom you like, where you like, how you like. But y'all need to wake up, because we need to be talking more about education, economics, our communities and our families, and what we need to do to make them better. Those are the only type podcasts I listen to, because I'm trying to be better. With that being said, it is 26 minutes after the hour. Brother Bowtie, give me some closing words. Let's get ready to get up out of here, man.
Got you, Scholar. What it is, what it ain't, what we gonna do about it. Let's talk about it, and let's do something about it. Brother Bowtie here with a message for you guys. Change your circle, change your life. If they don't support your vision, don't bring them into your future. Don't bring them at the table. Don't even give them a cup of water. And you will be all right. You will live and you will be great. This is Brother Bowtie. If you choose to support me, follow me on everything on social media, Bowtie Untied on my personal page, Antonio Cobb on Facebook. And if you wish to support my business, go to www.brothersbowties.com. You guys have a nice day.
That was my brother from another mother. I love that brother. That is my brother, the good scholar himself, Grandmaster, past Grandmaster Antonio Cope, Brother Bowtie himself. And yes, please do support him. Brother Bowtie, I forgot, and I'm going to call you as soon as we get off of here. I got a brother in Atlanta that wants to get your bow ties into his store, so I need to connect y'all too. Be better today than you were yesterday. And do something today to be a blessing to somebody somewhere, that no matter what you do, there's no earthly way they could ever pay you back, because you really. Every day, learn something new. It's never too late to learn. Never too late to learn. Always remember that there is no secret what God can do. Done for others, He will and He can do for you. But when God is with you, nothing or no one can stand against you. On the behalf of myself, Sister Jackson, Crimmins, Brother Bowtie, Sean P with the Sean P Experience, Elijah Nixon with sports, we are hashtag Truth Be Told /JD Live. Y'all have a blessed day. On this Monday, do something big. Be great, as Alethea say, in their face. And we up out of here. You're welcome. Peace.